Happy Monday. Welcome back. I am Rita Ernst. I am the author of Show Up Positive and Culture Impact. I am so happy that you are with me on this Monday where we're going to talk about the word amplify. It is one of my favorite words, and just the energy that comes from saying, just say the word amplify. Go ahead, say it. You can't say it and not smile. I don't know. It's so energizing to me, this idea of amplification. I love the word so much. It's in the original Show Up Positive, and it is in our guidebook for this series we're doing this year. So this is part one of Amplify. And I want you to understand that there are many opportunities to amplify. And we're going to talk about three of the main ones today and really working on mindset first. And then next week, we'll come back and we'll work more on practice with others. But when you're thinking about, how do I amplify others? Well, here are three ways that you can amplify. You can amplify an idea. So if somebody puts an idea out, sometimes it's really easy, especially in the workplace. It just kind of gets lobbed out there and somebody throws out the next idea and the next idea and it gets lost in the shuffle. And sometimes, you know, what even happens is somebody comes back around later and says the same idea that was said earlier and they get all the credit, right? And that's sort of an icky feeling if you're the person that said it first when that happens. Hey, Gary, thanks for joining me. And for amplifying our connection. So you can think about amplifying somebody's idea just by acknowledging it. We talked last week about the importance of that 10% that is right. That is one practice that you can do. You can really work on your mindset. How can I identify the 10% that I think is interesting, of value in what somebody says, and start by just acknowledging what they said and building off of that idea. So we can amplify ideas. So that's one place where we can shift our mindset. The next thing we can do is we can amplify other people's voices. We all live on social media right now. You're watching this on social and on a social media channel, most likely. And you could amplify my voice by sharing this recording with somebody else in your network that maybe you think wants to hear about the importance and value of amplifying. So one of the ways that we can amplify is we can amplify voices by making sure that whatever we are ingesting, we are reading, we are watching, we are listening to, that we are passing those things along to others when we repost, when we comment, when we share, when we like. All of those are ways of amplifying somebody else's voice, their ideas and their voice. And that's a very valuable way to contribute, especially to small business owners and creatives like me, authors. You make our world better when you write that review. You amplify what we do. So then the third way that we can amplify others is that we can notice, we can pay attention to who is not being drawn into a conversation, who's not being as included, and we can draw them in. So we can amplify their presence by inviting them in and making them feel more welcomed and inviting their voice. So if there's somebody that you really respect and they're sort of being quiet, you can just turn to them and say, my friend Gary's here and I respect him deeply. Gary, I'm so interested to know what you're thinking about as we're having this conversation. And it's just a way of opening up the space and passing the ball. But at the same time, I am amplifying the message to Gary that I am interested in what he has to say. And I'm making the space for his voice. So I am also amplifying his voice. So those are the three ideas I want you to really be thinking about this week. So how are you thinking about your role in being an amplifier? You are an amplifier. How are you using your mindset? How are you thinking about that role? And how are you choosing to show up and be present to amplify? We're amplifying ideas, we're amplifying voices, we're amplifying the presence of others in the room. This is going to create so much deeper, more meaningful relationships inside of your organization and your team. This is hugely beneficial. And you know what? This is perfect for when you are remote working or you're, asynchronously working. There are lots of ways for you to build relationship using amplification, even though you are not present in the same room. And this is going to enormously drive your ability to connect in meaningful ways and find shared meaning with others. And these things are so important to becoming a high performing team. So amplify this message, share this with somebody at your company, become partners together and work together to bring your practice of amplification into the norms of your team. Come back here next week. We're going to talk more specifically about how that practice can show up. I'm going to give you examples. And until then, you're just going to be working on how are you going to amplify this week. And so many great things are going to happen. Be sure you come back in the comments and tell me what they are. Thank you for being here, Gary. And for those of you that are interested in the Ledge, at 12:30 Eastern time, so that's just about 40 minutes away, 35, 40 minutes away. We are audio event, LinkedIn audio event. Come join us on the audio event. I'm sure Gary is going to be there. I don't know what the topic is going to be today. It is always driven by whoever shows up in the room, but it's always an amazing conversation. So if you need a little infusion of energy today, we've got you. Come join us on the Ledge and you will find that. Yeah, Gary's going to be there. Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you back here next Monday for part 2 of Amplify.